we speak a little more specifically about like these feminine ways in the world, and for people who might not be familiar as what feminine consciousness is, or you started to talk about it, but could you elaborate?
Sure. Well, I mean, one way that I feel that the feminine way is the way of feeling. And that is why I love what I do. In my work is that I'm helping people feel safe, feel their feelings.
Right,
and that's the journey of all the goddesses, all the faces of the goddess. There is the rage, there is the love, there is the compassion, there is the grief, like we can, Demeter, Inanna, it's like, I mean, those goddesses, this goddess energy has gone through everything, right? Everything,
right, exactly.
From conception to death and all the myriads of feeling we can feel as human beings.
Right.
The journey to feel back our bodies and our emotions really is at the base of my work, and I think the base of what how we're going to turn things around. Because when we are able to disconnect, when we're able to numb out, when we're able to disassociate, and where anything can happen, atrocity happen, and it just goes, or whatever. That was another movie on TV, So we have become so desensitized by our lifestyle or rhythm, and going so overboard in our masculine self that, bringing those feminine ways of, slowing down, going with the cycles of nature, like the birth, the growing, the maturing, the decaying, like accepting all those cycles of nature is really the way back home.
Right. Beautiful. So you touched on another point there, which was, this masculine way that is so commonplace within our culture. I think so much so that people don't even realize it's a paradigm, it's a way of thinking, it's a way of being. So maybe you could elaborate more on these masculine ways too.
Well, I mean, like everything has a beautiful, positive aspect, and then something that gets out of balance. In the masculine, there is the drive, the go, the ability to compartmentalize, which is wonderfully effective. When you are creating something, manifesting something. And I feel like to be able to weave both aspects of ourselves, depending, independently of who you are, with what kind of body you're walking the earth with, it's really important to find that balance. But we have been out of balance. We have been compartmentalizing too much. We've been driven way beyond, our needs, right? We've been driven by greed. We've been mostly greed, and ignorance. And it's really time for things to start shifting back. Not start shifting back, actually.
Right.
Shift back now.
Yeah, exactly. Not start, starting yesterday.
Yeah.